Hey everyone, David here. So I posted yesterday asking what you'd like me to train on today, and it seemed that the responses were overwhelmingly related to the male perspective on healing and healthy relationships. Now, I want to start by thanking you for asking for this. It's really important because as humans, we tend to define our reality based on what we've experienced in the past. For example, if you've been in the cycle of healthy or unhealthy relationships with men, you might believe that most or all men are unhealthy, abusive, dishonest, uncommunicative, emotionally unavailable, and so on. And you might find ultimately it's no coincidence that with that mindset, you might find yourself continuously attracting those same types of relationships. So I really want to take the opportunity to share this short video today to give you another point of view that might shift how you view people in general and men in particular. Now, before we dive in, I think it's important to keep in mind that while men and women are fundamentally different in many ways, which, by the way, is natural and a good thing, in my opinion, the internal challenges and struggles we face are often very similar. So let's dive in. It occurred to me really overall that life is a school. That's the point. It's filled with opportunities to learn and also opportunities to test what we're learning. And I really have found that the ultimate purpose of this school is to learn how to love. Now, let me be clear. I don't mean love as in what most people think of. In other words, attachment to good feelings like ego gratification, outside validation, and pride over our accomplishments, for example. I mean, love is the primary force that creates life, not controlling, not neediness or manipulation, but more of an alignment with our true nature and the mind of the universe. I know that's a little esoteric, but bear with me. So, in my experience, we often struggle because we perceive ourselves as separate, as cut off from this force, the source of love. And as a result, so much of our lives are dominated by the emotions that arise from that feeling of separation, right? We're always struggling with that. So, a quality man is not perfect, a man with no character flaws. A quality man is one who has begun to recognize that he's not in competition with anyone. He's made mistakes, but he realizes that the higher virtue is being honest with himself and taking responsibility for learning from his mistakes so he can elevate his character. A quality man understands he'll never be liked or even necessarily understood by most people. His best efforts may go unappreciated, but even still, he strives to become a better version of himself for the sake of itself, for the sake of his own evolution, not because of how it makes him look in the eyes of others. A quality man also learns how to become emotionally self-reliant. Again, I talk about this a lot. So he begins to show up in the world and in relationships, not looking for what he can get out of them, but for what he can give. He no longer needs to engage in what I've often called this sort of energetic emotional economy, where giving love is conditional and even what you might call transactional. Now, a quality man, and again, this is just speaking from my own perspective, a quality man wants a partner who embodies these same principles, someone who's committed to her own healing and growth, someone who can be strong yet vulnerable, confident but flexible, protective of her own energy, and yet open. You see, a quality man won't try to break down your castle walls with love bombs, but will confidently show you his true self to you without flashiness and simply await an invitation into your heart. A quality man is kind, patient, and chivalrous. He's willing to let go of the need for things to turn out exactly as he wants in order to be able to receive what is offered naturally. Now, granted, everyone, it might seem these days that most men and women you meet aren't really of this level of quality, right? Most people are just kind of focused on what's in it for me and how can I, reach that next level of comfort or some sense of control. But I want you to consider this. And I think it's important because a lot of people struggle feeling like, oh, it's there's no good guys left. They're all this or that, or I've been on dating sites and they just all want one thing, or they ghost me or play games or whatever. But I want you to consider this. The reality may be that your perfect partner may be one in a million. But I want you to lean in here. I guarantee you, if you believe that we're all bad, you are certain to never find them. And as I kind of wrap up this short training, just a little tip. The way to find your needle in a haystack is not to get better at sifting through the pile of guys out there, but rather to learn how to become magnetic so that great unseen forces can come to your aid and magically attract that person to you. And I know that sounds a little weird and woo-woo. I admit that. I know that. But the reality is that's how I found the love of my life. And I know it can work for you too. Now, I could go on, but we want to try to keep these trainings short, give you some little nuggets, and really just sort of give you a high-level overview. Everyone, if you like this video and you want to see more content like it, or perhaps have me go a little bit deeper into topics like this, let me know in the comments. But I hope you found this valuable. I want to say thanks as always for joining me. Have a great day, everyone, and we will see you in the group.